Hello there. So, thanks for watching this video already. It's only been 5 seconds, but hey, you clicked on it and that makes me happy. You're probably wondering, what am I watching? What are you doing now, Victoria? Well, I'll tell you. A couple years ago, I had an idea to start a YouTube channel and start making YouTube videos and all that. I was watching a couple of other YouTube people and I was like, that looks like fun. I want to do that. But being 14, 15 years old, I didn't have the know-how, I didn't know what I was doing, I really didn't know where to start, so I never did it. But I figured, why not start now? Kind of looking for a new hobby anyways, looking for something fun to do, something I can learn with, etc. So why not do something like this and see if it's something I really like? And you're probably asking yourself, what's going to happen? What am I going to be doing? Am I going to be doing this for comedy? Am I going to be doing like reviews on something? I don't know what you're thinking. Maybe you're wondering just why. Well, I just figured it'd be a fun creative outlet where I could express myself, but then also have some fun, you know, do a bunch of, you know, just random stuff here and there and kind of showcase, you know, things that I can share later on, years from now. I mean, maybe I'll do this maybe for a year, 6 months, or I don't know. And then 5 years, I'll go back and I'll watch my videos and I'll be like, gosh, I was such a reckless young adult. I'm only 20, so I can still be reckless, right? Right, I think so. Anywho, so all this video is really going to be about is kind of just a quick few facts to get to know me. If you're watching this, you probably A, know me really well, or B, know me kind of well, or C, you probably don't know me really at all. I mean, I guess, unless you're a total stranger, then I guess you'll learn something new. Great. So, a couple random facts about me that other people may not really know, and it's kind of an intro to who I am and all that, so you can kind of have a purpose of what to expect. I love wrestling, I love music, I'm notorious for not seeing movies, and I'll elaborate on these a little bit in a minute. I'm left-handed, but I do everything else pretty much right-handed, and I'm obsessed with people, like notable people with mental illnesses, whether they're like serial killers or they are crazy like writers or authors or artists or whatever. People that see the world a bit differently and then they express themselves through that in some kind of way, positive or negative, I don't care. It's interesting to me. Numero uno. So I love wrestling and I also like to randomly, speak Spanish. But like un poquito random words I know. I don't even know if that was right, but I like to think I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I like wrestling. I wish I had more time to watch it more than I do. Yes, that does mean, if you don't already know, WWE, Lucha Underground, ROH, which is Ring of Honor, which if you don't know that, then yeah, this is all new to you. And gibberish, so you don't even know what I'm saying. But if you are watching, then you know I like wrestling. 99% of the people that I even regularly hang out with, I met through wrestling. My boyfriend's a wrestler. A lot of my friends are wrestlers. That's how a lot of people in other states, it's wrestling. It's just really cool to me, really fun. I have my favorites. One thing about wrestling that's been interesting though is I've only been watching for about 5 years. So I didn't watch the Attitude Era. I didn't watch Seth growing up as a kid thinking like, oh my gosh, Razor Ramon's such the shit. Or Hulk Hogan, whatever, which I actually don't really like, by the way. So sorry if you're a Hulk Hogan fan and I offended you. Sorry, I guess. Like, I just don't like him. I don't see the appeal, but whatever, again, maybe it's a generational thing, and I just missed out because I didn't watch it growing up as a kid. I wish I did. Maybe I would feel differently about wrestling. Maybe I would have loved it more or something. I don't know. But I didn't watch it like that, so I came in about 5 years ago, not having a stinking clue what it was, had never heard of it. I didn't know what a John Cena was. I didn't know that The Rock used to be a wrestler. I thought The Rock was an actor from the Game Plan. That's what I thought. So, yeah, a wrestling fan. Yay. Fun fact. Second thing, I love music, all types of music. My mom actually did radio when I was growing up. She's a DJ at a country radio station, a bunch of them actually different places, and even did, some work with ZHT back in the year 94.9. Has worked with a ton of different people, but I've mostly predominantly grew up listening to country, so Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Kenny Chesney, Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, all of them. I love them. This newer stuff I'm kind of like, about, but it's not bad, it's alright, but I kind of like that. stuff I grew up with. On the other hand of that, I also am I pretty much like rock music for the most part. I'm kind of pickier on bands, I guess. I have definitely a smaller circle of bands and people that I like within the rock genre. Most notably, I'm a huge fan of Shinedown and Slipknot's latest album. I didn't really listen to them a lot until recently, Slipknot that is, but I really do like a lot of their newer stuff, which is cool. And so this is rock. I guess you could, some people say Shinedown is rock band, some people say not. Oh well, I like them, and that's the most common way to join they're in, so there's that. I also love rap music. I love rap, I love hip-hop, like, of course, that means I love Eminem, I love Ludacris, I love Usher, I love Hopsin, I love Tech N9ne, I love Lil Wayne, I think he's alright. Chris Brown's alright too. Let's see. Kind of anybody that I think isn't just rapping about hoes and drugs and money, which is a lot of them. Sometimes that's alright, but then, for the most part, I also like for instance, one of the reasons I like Hopsin is a lot of stuff that he writes is realistic, and it's really cool. Number 3. I'm notoriously bad at knowing movies. I like to think I've seen a lot of movies. I like to think that I can get most movie references, and chances are I'd probably get the reference if you ever make a movie reference around me. I love Wikipedia. That's cheesy, but I read about a lot of movies, so I've probably read about the movie. I probably have a general idea of what the storyline is, but I don't see it. I like Lion King. This is like an endless debate in my house right now of I need to watch The Lion King, and to me I'm like, I guess. And like I know the story, I know I watched it when I was a kid, I haven't seen it in a really long time. Oh well, I just recently watched the Star Wars movies. I haven't seen the new one. I've gotten through the first 6 of them, and my friends were giving me like, you're on your phone the whole time, and I'm like, it has its moments. I wouldn't say it's my favorite series ever by any means, but I've seen it. I have more of a knowledge of it than I did before, so that counts in my book. But for the most part, if you're like, hey, have you seen XYZ movie? I'll be like, yeah, no, probably not. Along with that little side note, I also am not really a fan of classic movies. Like Goonies, I don't like it. I think it's stupid. I don't see the humor in it. I don't think it's funny. I may offend some of you that love that movie, worship that movie. I'm sorry. Maybe it's a generational thing. I just don't like it. Along with that as well, Ghostbusters, awful. I don't care. I don't care for the new Ghostbusters that they're remaking simply because I didn't care for the first one, or the original, or whatever you want to call it. It's not interesting to me. I don't know. Again, maybe it's a generational gap. It's just not funny to me. So yeah, fun fact about me, I like movies, but I probably haven't seen any. If you try to ask me, oh hey, have you seen this movie? Yeah, probably not. Number 4, I'm left-handed, but I do most of my stuff right-handed. Really, the only things that I do left-handed is eat and then draw or write or stuff like that. Other than that, if I go bowling, I bowl with my right hand. If I go, play like baseball or softball or like batting cages or anything like that, I bat right-handed. If I've ever played soccer or anything like that, I kick with my right foot. Whenever I play basketball or something, I bounce ball with my right hand. It just kind of was one of those things when I was growing up in an elementary school, and it was like, here's how you play this game, or here's how you do this. Everybody, as far as teachers, just kind of assumed everybody's right-handed, so that's how I learned. But I could not ever shake the writing or eating with my left hand. If I try to do anything like that with my right hand, I can't do it at all. It's the same thing if I try to, use my left hand for sports of any kind. I can't do it. Even in video games, I'm quicker with my right hand. If I ever go to push a button or do something, a lot quicker with my right hand than I am with my left hand. I don't know. Yay for being left-handed. And number 5. So, I'm just anything interesting, serial killers, mental illnesses, anything like that. That might be a creepy thing to some people. I know it scares some people. Some people don't understand it. They can't wrap their minds around that stuff. In a way, neither can I, but I want to know. I want to learn. I want to try. I want to try to see things from people from that side of life's kind of views, the way they see things differently. I want to try to understand. that even goes as far as, you know, you've probably seen those articles on Facebook of this artist tried 15 different drugs and drew paintings and self-portraits of himself. That stuff's so cool to me because for me, where I'm absolutely terrified of drugs or whatever, I want to see what that perception's like. I want to just have like influences to be like, oh, that's kind of what that's like. Or, you know, for instance, back when Charles Manson was on trial, he was giving all these interviews that were recorded, and to me, he's crazy. Like, this man is insane, but people think, you know, and he's been diagnosed as not being insane and knowing right from wrong. And that's always interesting for me to watch, just to be like, like, how do you live in a world like that? Totally random. I could probably go off on a tangent for hours about stuff like that. It's just super interesting to me. Serial killers just fascinate me. If I could get paid to just talk to them all day, I would, and study them and try to wrap my brain around, you know, what they're thinking and what their thought process was behind anything that they did. Just super interesting to me. And yeah, so there's that. There's number 5. So there's my 5 things. So some of those 5 things, if, of course, you know, 99% of people watching this video probably know me, and they probably either, you know these things about me, or they just learned them too. Cool. You know, I'm hoping this is something that gets a good response, I'm hoping, of some kind. So if you have any kind of response, if you have questions for me, like that, you know, if you want more random facts about me, cool. I mean, I guess if you want to get to know me that way, whatever. If you want to have a certain like video idea you want to see me do, I know I have a couple of ideas, but I'm totally gonna enlist my boyfriend, which, you know my boyfriend, it's gonna be funny because he's not gonna have the best time, but I'm gonna make him do it because he loves me, and you know, that's just the dues of being a great boyfriend. Other than that, though, I intend to keep this kind of a weekly thing. I'm not for sure on what day. But I might do a tutorial here and then if I think of something I really am good at doing. And then just random stuff here and there. So if you want to follow along, I'm going to post my stuff down here in this little box. Of course, where to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that fun stuff, because I'm one of them young gen kids and I'm on everything. So feel free to add me, follow me, whatever, if you're not already. And watch my next video. If you watched all the way to the end of this one, I love you. That's great. This is a cheesy thing I used to do when I was like 12, but whatever, it works because this is a first time thing. And like I said before, you've now watched this probably for like 8, 9, 10 minutes now. I don't know yet because I still need to edit and put this together. But if you watch the whole thing, muchas gracias. I appreciate that. Have a good rest of your night.